What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my night one review. As you can see right here, of WrestleMania XL or WrestleMania 40, whatever you want to call it. And man, this show for a WrestleMania show, the beginning was a little slow to get there, but by the time we got to the end of night one, it got you hyped and ready for night two. But with that being said, music off. Time to talk about it. So, as per with any pay-per-views, no promos, no nothing, just straight matches. And they start off with the first championship match of the night, or in the first match of the night, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. This was a good match. I like it. I like Rhea's entrance. Becky had her standard normal entrance, but I like Rhea's entrance. She had a somewhat custom entrance, and it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed. They had some kick out moments. Both of them kicked out each other's finishers, but Rhea would give Becky about two rip ties. One, she picked her up and rip tied her into the turnbuckles, and then she would rip tie her again to pick up the victory. Which in total, I think Becky took three rip ties. Basically, it took three rip ties to beat Becky Lynch. The story going into this though too was that Becky, I guess, has not been feeling well. She was sick for the whole week, and she, I don't know what was going on with her, but she's basically was sick, and she there we go. I didn't even know it was a thing. Honestly, I didn't know that Becky Lynch was actually was sick, but she was sick, and yeah, and I guess the story is that's why she wanted the match to go first. That's the thing. She wanted the match to go first. And I'm like, because I had the thing was mine was my only gripe with this was why was the match first? Why was this match first? This match felt like this should have been match at least 3. This should have been match 3, if anything, but not the opener match. But anywho, other than that, the match was good, and yeah, Rhea won. And then we move on to the next match, which is the 6-pack challenge match. Now, this match would not be the match of the night, but it would be the runner-up. Because if I'm looking back, yeah, this was the runner-up match. This match got beat out by one other match for match of the night. If it wasn't for that other match, this would have been match of the night. But but like I said, it's the runner-up in second place, and this was a good match. This was for the undisputed tag team championships, and the way how they had this set up was that both the Raw tag team championships and the SmackDown tag team championships was not on the same hook together. That was actually on 2 separate hooks, and the match would go until both championships are retrieved. But the caveat here is they didn't tell you this until the match actually was here, and they didn't even tell you it. They told you it by it happening in the match. So when one team grabs a championship, that team is automatically crowned that tag team champion. So in order for Damian Priest and Finn Balor to retain both titles, they would have to retrieve both titles. And for you to become the new undisputed champion, you would have to retrieve both titles. So this was a good match. I mean, this was a straight ECW hardcore match. I mean, you had people going through tables, ladders. They broke like several ladders. You had people standing on broke ladders. I mean, this match was good. It was some good old fashioned beat them down fun. The first team to claim a title will be Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Oh my god, I did not want them to win. I did not. I wanted New Catch Republic to take it, but Grayson Waller and Austin Theory would climb the ladder to get the smack. Well, Grayson, while Austin Theory was like the lookout to make sure nobody would stop him, Grayson Waller would unhook the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, and they was crowned SmackDown Tag Team Champion, which meant virtually now, even if Damian Priest and Finn Balor did win the other tag team titles, there was no longer undisputed. That part was finished. There was no more undisputed tag team champions unless Austin Theory would declaim the Raw titles. So after that, the match continued on for a bit more. We got a bit more table spots, a bit more chair shots and ladder spots. New Catch Republic Tyler Bate had a wonderful spot where he did like a helicopter with Finn and the ladder. Like Finn was holding the ladder, and then he put both him and Finn on his back, and he just helicoptered. I'm like, that was awesome. But in the end, the one team I did predict that was going to win, the Awesome Truth, the Miz and R-Truth did climb up the ladder to get the with R-Truth climbing up the ladder to get the Raw Tag Team Championships. R-Truth was a treasure in this, man. He despite the fact that it was 16, he thought this was a traditional tag match, and he would try to he would try to get tagged in, and when he did get tagged in, the Miz just was like, forget it. He just tagged him in, even though you didn't have to be tagged in. He even hit his finisher and tried to get a pinfall victory, but Miz had to tell him, no, you don't. It's not a pinfall match. You have to climb the ladder and get the titles. And you know how R-Truth is. He's afraid of ladders and spiders. But in the end, R-Truth did face his fears and climb the ladder to claim the titles, which means Judgment Days, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest would no longer be champions. And now we got two separate tag team champions. Raw's tag team champions are now Awesome Truth, while SmackDown's is Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. The next match would be Santos and Dominic Mysterio versus Rey and Andrade. And this was a fun little match. I mean, it was a fun luchador match, nothing too special here. I mean, this was the match I at least looked forward to. So it was just out of nowhere, but it was still good. None of the matches were bad. No matches were bad. They ranged from okay. I would say the range was okay to great or to perfect, and fortunately, no match fell under good. Nothing was okay. Everything was good to perfect. So, and this was no exception. This match was good. The only reason why I say I make it sound like I wasn't too interested in it is because it just came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. Nobody was. It's just a match that felt like that should have been on SmackDown. But for what it was still a good match. It was still a fun time to watch, and it was entertaining. And Rey and Andrade would get the victory. The next match I was looking forward to was Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, brother versus brother. Now this was a good match. It didn't go long, but you'll find out why some of these matches didn't go long. Like the Dominic Mysterio and this match will be two matches that didn't really go long, and this didn't really go long either. This went longer than the Santos and Dominic and Rey and Andrade match, but only by like maybe 4 or 5 minutes longer. But this was still good. The things that I was missing from it was it wasn't missing, but you didn't see it from Jimmy's side. Jimmy was completely and utterly under Roman's control, while Jay was the one who at times showed remorse, like he didn't really want to fight his brother, but because he keep choosing to stand by Roman, so he have to. But the match itself was good. There was a part where Jimmy tried to act like he was coming to his senses and that he was wrong. And I'm like, no, he's just doing what Roman has done to you so many times over. I'm yelling at the screen. He's just doing Roman. That's what Roman did to you when he was trying to make you stop hitting him. So you started trying to beat him up because he was hurt because when he did to Jimmy, like there's so many. Such a Roman trickery, and it was just the same thing. Jimmy was just fooling him. But in the end, Jay would get it, beat him with a spear and splash combination. Did I say Jimmy? Jay, right? I said Jay. Hopefully, I said Jay. Jay won. We'll get then we get an interesting match, which is Damage Control versus Jay Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca. With this being Bianca's, I guess you could say, second match, and that with her first being the Royal Rumble. This was good. I was mostly looking forward to see how well Jay Cargill performs in the ring, considering the fact that from what I heard from her in AEW, she didn't have a pretty good. She didn't have a pretty good match. She don't have pretty good matches, and it was sloppy. But here, she looked good. She looked good. It looked like her training is paying off very well. I was impressed with her. Nothing looked as sloppy from her part. There some sloppy moments, yes, and there was some sloppy moments in almost every match from the first match up until this match. Every match had like a sloppy moment. Um, this match had a sloppy moment, but it didn't come from Jade. It actually came from I think that was like Bianca. It was either Bianca and Naomi. It was either Bianca or Naomi, and the other person was like either Kyrie or Asuka or Dakota Kai. One of them combinations of people had a sloppy moment, but other than that, it just didn't come from Jade. That's the good thing. It didn't come from Jade, and Jade would actually be the one to get her team the victory. So yeah, this was a good solid match. I am excited for what Jade have to do because she didn't look bad here, and like I said, her training did look good. But yeah, Jade, Naomi, and Bianca won the match. Hopefully down the line we get a Bianca versus Jade Cargill match like everybody been wanting for so long. Um, I forgot Lil Wayne did come out when Jay came out. He was the one who like basically sung Jay out, but he just came and performed a Millie at WrestleMania, and then Jay Uso he performed a little bit of a Millie, and then Jay Uso's music came out, and he basically came down to the ring with Jay Uso. I just thought to throw that in there because I forgot to say it when I was doing that. Um, we'll get the next match, which is the next championship match, which is Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the IC championship match. For the Intercontinental Championship. Um, this match would be the only match to have a promo because there was a backstage promo with Sammy talking to his wife and child. Then he would have a conversation with Chad Gable, where Chad Gable telling him he could do it, and that he wouldn't be joining him out in the ring because he wants Sammy to do this by himself, but told Sammy to remember that he owes him one. I guess we'll find out what that is later on. He would run into Kevin Owens, who hugged him and told him to go out there and do it right before his music hit, and thus Sami Zayn's entrance. Gunther made his entrance, and this was a good match. This was a fun match. This match would be the first match of the night and the only match of the night that I would get wrong. This is the only match I got wrong. In my predictions, I said Gunther, which should tell you who won the match. But this was a fun match. Gunther worked over Sammy, and it looked like it was a typical Gunther squash match for a while. But and he was even taunting Sami Zayn's wife. But after a while of dominating Sammy did what he did on Monday. He started kicking up. He started not taking no BS, and he overcame Gunther's onslaught and hit him with two Haluna kicks. And now Sami Zayn is your new Intercontinental Champion, and Gunther's amazing Intercontinental Championship reign has come to an end. Hopefully, we get a repeat of that for tomorrow's WrestleMania Night 2. Hopefully, somebody else long title reign comes to an end. Speaking of which, since we transition over here to another champion, his long title reign, that would be your main event, which is The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And this was the match of the night. This was the match of the night. This match went for an hour and a half. I think this match started at 10 and then ended around 11:20, 11:21. So I said an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half. Because it literally got up to like 11:20, 11:21 when it ended. It almost went for that. It went that long. But the one thing I hated about it, even though I gave it a match of the night, the one thing I hated about it was that the Rock's and Roman's interest took up maybe almost 15 to 30 minutes of the first part of the match. So I guess you could say an hour because the first 30 minutes of it was just entrance. But yeah, this was match of the night, man. This was great. I enjoyed it. I mean, this was a banger. This had me on my toes. The reason why I give it this match of the night because this is the most match. This match on night one had the most near pinfalls I ever seen in my life. All the matches on this card couldn't even combine to make up how many near falls there was in this match and how many moments where you didn't know if it was going to be Roman or Rock or it was going to be Cody and Seth. And that happened so much that you just was glued, and they had you on your toes. You didn't know which was which. Roman kicked out of every finisher. Cody and Seth kicked out of every finisher. It just kept going, but it broke down so much in the end. And The Rock, I love The Rock for taunting Cody's mom. But yeah, in the end, the Bloodline, The Rock, and Roman. They came up and The Rock and Roman won with Cody taking the pin. I was wrong I was right about who was going to win this match. I was wrong who took the pin. I said Seth was going to take the pin. Cody took the pin. Cody took the pin by The Rock. But that gives me the thinking that because of that, Roman is taking the pin from Cody because Cody's going to win the championship. But that's another video for another day. Yeah, this was a great match. This was match of the night by far with match of the night. I don't think I could get MVP to anybody. Really, if I wanted to give MVP to somebody, I don't see somebody to give MVP to. But I'll just say the match of the night was The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. I'm going to give this. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't that great of a night. It was like when you like an appetizer before the main course. So I would say just before that, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10 Big Ups just because it definitely. I wanted to give it an 8, but I was like, no, I'll give it a 7.5 because it felt like a 7.5 show, which is still good. It's just not good for a WrestleMania. Both WrestleManias should always be at least a 9 at the lowest, but this was definitely a 7.5. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought and if you enjoyed my video. Let me hold on before we get in. You got my friend. Stupid cord. you hit that button right there for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much you want to support your channel, all you gotta do is hit those buttons. As always, hit one of these videos for more of my amazing content. Don't go anywhere because I got more in the form of some Mr. Ballin reactions, some gameplays, and so night 2 of WrestleMania. And if you didn't check out my live stream, make sure you check in for night 2's live stream starting at the same time for night 2. So yeah, peace. Oh, that I turned off the music. I did it again. I turned off the music thinking that was the end button. So now peace.